Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I will have two little articles here in this video, and one is about Zelensky claiming that the Russians used a very high number of missiles and rockets in Ukraine, and the other one is about payoffs for some snitches, but that happens in a war. Let's see, let's start with the first one. The first one comes from Ukrainska Pravda from July 18th, 2022. And this is the title. Russia launched more than 3,000 cruise missiles over Ukraine, Zelensky says. It says that since the start of the full-scale war on 24 February 2022, Russia has launched more than 3,000 cruise missiles against Ukraine. The source is President Zelensky. And I'm quoting, Russia has already used more than 3,000 cruise missiles against Ukraine. It is impossible to count the number of artillery and other projectiles that have been used against our country and our people. But it is definitely possible to bring all Russian war criminals to justice. Each of the collaborators, all those responsible for terror, for everything that happens 145 days and more than 8 years. It will be done, Zelensky claims. Well, I would go further for Mr. Zelensky, and I would say that even the ones responsible with the causes of the war should be also brought in front of justice, don't you think? So the ones who were incapable of fulfilling their obligations, the legal international obligations under the international law, which obviously is part of the Minsk agreements that became international law once it was signed, legally signed by a country, which was Ukraine. And it had two guarantors, Germany, right? Germany and France, that told the other side, which were the Donetsk and Lugansk new territories, new, how do you want to call it, separatist territories, that they will make sure that Ukraine will fulfill its, whatever it signed over there in agreements. Well, that didn't happen. So maybe those people who were incapable of implementing what they signed, should be held accountable. I think they should. So Zelensky has it to a certain extent, but not the full extent. Now, the other article that I would like to talk about here is an article from Ukrainska Pravda from July 18th, 2022. And this is the title. Kim announces reward for information on artillery spotters. So, State Administration, Vitaly Kim, head of the Mykolaiv Oblast State Administration, has promised a reward of $100 for information that would assist in capturing Russian artillery spotters in Mykolaiv Oblast. So those guys who say, oh, that's artillery. Hey, my Russian friends, it's over there. Hit it. Those are the spotters. Vitaly Kim said the Russians are bringing Ukrainians through Telegram channels to correct their artillery fire on Mykolaiv Oblast. The Russian Federation pays, according to Kim, a few pennies, 1 to 1.5 thousand hryvnias for the work. At the same time, those who are recruiting artillery spotters promise them completely anonymity, which they cannot provide. The Ukrainian military will catch them eventually. However, in order to speed up their capture, the Oblast administration is offering ordinary residents an opportunity to join the hunt for traitors. Each resident who provides information leading to the arrest of an artillery spotter will receive $100. A little later, the head of the Oblast State Administration promised to publish clear instructions for further whistleblowers. Quote, I will pay $100 to anyone who points out an artillery spotter. Look for it, guys. All right. I guess this is the way it goes. You don't have the intelligence anymore, but you use the population, which is fine. I mean, you do whatever it's needed to defend your weapons and your country and your people. It's perfectly understandable. And regarding Zelensky's 3,000 missiles and rockets claim, it's very funny because I have to bring this up each and every time these guys are bringing that up, is that in April, the British and the Ukrainians said in April that, I think it was the British intelligence services, stated that the Russians almost used their stocks of missiles and rockets. It was in April. So I made a calculation and I said almost, let's say 80%. I didn't give him 95. I said 80%, and I calculated it would last two more weeks. Maybe I took into consideration maybe they're going to build some, but you know, they can't really replenish whatever they had. So I got to mid-May, be done with the rockets. And then in May they came with some other figures that they're almost done, they're depleted. And then in June they came with another one that the Russians are using Soviet era rockets and whatever they had. I'm surprised they didn't bring the Second World War. They got some Katyushas using from Stalin's grave. They dug them out. And it looks like the Russians are using hypersonic missiles still. They use a Kalibr missile. They use everything they got, and it's not like 2 or 3. I made a video, I think yesterday, that they used 40 missiles in 18 hours to hit one town. And it's not a high frequency, but if you pinpoint your rockets to reach the right target, you need some time, I guess, to adjust. You just don't close your eyes and you push buttons or whatever you do. So nevertheless, 3,000, if you divide that by 5 months, March, April, May, June, July. Okay, let's say 5 months. Yeah, 5 months. If you divide it by 5 months, you don't get to a higher to a high number of rockets and missiles. But he said he didn't consider the artillery, shells and other things. But 3,000, it's a lot. Calculate that with how much is each and every one of those missiles, and you get to a big amount of money. But nevertheless, more to come. It seems they claim that the Russians are depleted again. You know, is the story with the boy who cried wolf. Nobody believes them anymore, but maybe now they're right, but it's kind of like too late. So yeah, the snitches, which are useful sometimes, and then the number of missiles. Well, this is war. What can you do? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.